Welcome to This Week in Vegas, a Bettor's View. This is Marco D'Angelo along with Vegas Runner. This is Thanksgiving Week edition.
Yeah,
we're going to be talking some football, some turkey. I don't know, this is only my second Thanksgiving here in Vegas. I mean, what's the traditions? Turkey sandwiches at the Rhino or what?
It used to be turkey sandwich at the Dust. I know a lot of people remember them days, boy. You'd meet down at the Stardust. Everybody would be there. Half the guys not wanting to go home to eat. But, now with the family, it's a little different. I enjoy it more at home, and the Dust isn't there for us no more. You'd be surprised. People think that it becomes a ghost town, and it is a little dead, but there's a lot of, this is America. A lot of people don't celebrate Thanksgiving. And those cultures really converge on this town, and it starts getting happening over that weekend.
Well, I'll be hoping for some tourists in town. I'll be watching some football on the weekend, hitting the poker tables.
I can't wait.
I always love to watch the tourists come into town.
Oh, yeah, you got to greet them, welcome them.
Yeah, welcome at the table and stick it to them. But right before we went on air, we were talking about some of the games this weekend.
Oh, no.
And Vegas, I mean, this man is a true Vegas wise guy. He made the statement of the year in front of me and our producer, Brandon. He was talking about a game on Sunday he had.
It was my three-star, the first true steam game of the week. It was under in the Minnesota-Seattle game.
Now listen, let me set the stage. This is what this Las Vegas wise guy said. He goes, that game was a stone-cold under till they started scoring. And dude, they're all stone-cold unders till they start scoring. But that's why you're number one ranked
NFL because of things like that.
You are the man.
Because unless they start scoring, my unders look like locks. It was like 3-0, man. And all of a sudden at halftime, there's 24 points. And that's why. The way it came out, it was square as it comes. But
that was profound. I mean, I'm going to have
I apologize.
I'm going to have business cards made up with that slogan. So that was great. Seriously, this is an important week in betting.
It is.
It's virtually a 5-day, just buffet of football.
Yeah.
You start on Thanksgiving Day. Friday, you got all the games. And there are guys that don't bet all year.
Oh, yeah,
and they come out this weekend. Because this is what happens. Thanksgiving, okay, they bite the bullet. They're home with the family. They stuff themselves with turkey. After everybody falls asleep, they'll bet the late game Thursday, the Thursday night game. But then Friday is when the fun begins, because what happens is the little lady gets up
shopping.
She gets up at 4 a.m. because she's got to be there for the crowds for those holiday doorbuster sales, and they're gone all day long, and they're sitting on the couch chewing on a leftover turkey leg, watching football,
and you got to have action
and betting, and that's one of the biggest betting days for guys that because they're off work.
Yeah, exactly.
And their wives are out shopping.
You're absolutely
so
right.
they just enjoy themselves. And a lot of people, this is one of the toughest weeks to handicap football because it's not your regular
at all
run-of-the-mill handicap, because this is rivalry week. You have all of the Florida State,
Georgia, Auburn, Alabama.
The game I'm waiting for, the backyard brawl, Pitt and West Virginia.
Yeah.
These games, you can take your stat sheets.
Yeah, toss them away.
Toss them away because this week, whenever you're handicapping football, you throw the
things
stats
change,
out.
Yeah, 1 in 10 teams show up.
This is their bowl game.
Yeah. You got to factor that in. Not to interrupt you, too. What else you really need to look at is the line, because the public perception factor gets weighed in so much heavier during these times. The odds makers aren't stupid. The bookmakers aren't stupid. They know these, more public perception, more public bettors are going to bet, and they know how they're thinking. So, you could get some bigger value, too, during these days.
When it comes to rivalry week, my style of handicapping, when you sit down to look at a game, there's either the dog or the favorite.
Yeah.
You start and you handicap. When I get to this week, I start looking at the game with all intentions. I'm taking the underdog unless I find something,
a reason, a good
super
support
strong
the favorite
to swing me the other way. And here's the rationale behind that. The rivalry, as we said, if you've got big brother, little brother, in-state rivals, generally what happens, one of the teams is having a better year than the other.
Of course.
The rival that's having the off year, They want nothing better because their season's ruined
It's
or
done.
whatever.
It's done.
They want to ruin your parade.
Yeah, especially if you're like right there for a BCS bid or a bigger bowl game or to win the conference.
This is the game that you get rise to the occasion and strange things happen. And the other reason that the Dogs win is because if that other team is in that super position where, hey, we win this game, we've got the BCS Bowl, or, you know, we're setting ourselves up to play for the national championship, you know, $10 million bowl game.
They're going in with the let's get out of here with a win mentality.
Right.
Yeah.
You play often
play to win. You play a little conservative.
You play not to lose instead of playing to win.
Yeah.
And then you let those Dogs hang around in the game.
The back door stays wide open.
So, you know, if we teach you anything in this week, just don't get locked into this team's ranked number one against the rush. This and that, because this week that stuff doesn't come to play.
Absolutely. You know what I wanted to add too? I don't forget. People have been asking in the forum too about college basketball. Right now, you really got to be careful with college basketball because I'm going to tell you this. The main people betting it right now are the wise guys. And they get down early because they're trying to get the best number now because the public's not involved. Once December comes, then you should really start getting involved because more public bettors are betting. Wise guys tend to sit back, let the public move the lines. Right now, though, in college basketball, you got to be real selective. I know what they're showing it all over ESPN. They had that 24-hour marathon stuff. You got to be very careful and very selective. You're seeing some of these games that aren't even coming near the number, and that's not going to happen once December kicks in.
Another point for this week in college basketball, and then you'll have it again over the Christmas holiday.
Right.
First off, it's the beginning of the season. This week, these teams have only played 1, 2, 3 games. So the team chemistry is not there yet.
No.
They haven't, gelled as a team. So be careful with that. A lot of times you'll have these big favorites that,
I've given out 6 picks so far, and that's it. And even that, I shouldn't have even been that, free to bet like that.
The other point is that because it is the holidays, a lot of these kids, their schedules are disrupted. They're not playing.
Yeah.
They're not playing on a normal schedule. They may play one game, and then because of the holiday, they don't have another game scheduled for a week.
Practice is disrupted, schoolwork. I mean, there's
everything.
A lot going
there's no
on.
continuity, and that's the key to basketball is continuity. So be careful of those things. The other point that I wanted to make this time of the year, we talked about it earlier in the year, and this is one of the things that separates squares and sharps. At the beginning of the year, remember those first couple weeks of the NFL when the favorites were just like, it was free money. These guys
5
were
and 16 parlays were getting cash left and right, bro.
Everybody was pounding the big favorites. Well, now all of a sudden we said about in week 4, we said the pendulum will swing.
It always
Vegas
does.
will adjust the numbers and everything will come back to the norm. But see, here's the difference. The public, once they see something with their eyes, it takes them forever to readjust and go the other way. And that's why I always say, like, when you watch a game on TV and one team looked really good and one looked really bad, no team is ever as good as their best effort or are they as bad as their worst.
I totally agree.
But the public just sees that one and it sticks in their mind, and then there's that perception that follows that team for weeks. That's the perception with these NFL favorites. The public now, they can't readjust. They're not moving to the Dogs.
You know why? Because they kept seeing all them threads, all them posts, double-digit favorites this year, 65% or 70%. Go over the last 3 weeks and tell me where double-digit favorites are right now.
The Dogs are covering in the NFL. I don't see it switching back because the public doesn't move back that fast, and Vegas will keep, pumping the teams
ahead
to
of
win.
The public always.
All the time. Hey, this segment I'm looking at the clock. We got 20 seconds. It just, we might have to end up expanding this in the future into 2 segments.
Yeah, part 2.
And
part
again,
1
guys,
and 2.
From Vegas Runner, Marco D'Angelo, have a safe and prosperous Thanksgiving.
Yeah, please. I know it's Wednesday night. A lot of people love to go out and club and party and
this
go to bars.
This is the biggest bar night of the year.
Tonight, dude, I lived for this night. So please, drive carefully, man. Be careful. Take a cab home. Leave your car. It ain't going anywhere, dude.
That's it. This is Marco
Have a great
D'Angelo.
Thanksgiving.
Marco D'Angelo, Vegas Runner. This week in Vegas, a bettor's view. Talk to you next week.